Hey guys, it's me, Leolah. Good morning. It is Saturday morning. Okay. Oh God, I had to come to you all this morning. My emails and my back office on Facebook, everything is flooded with mail. Everybody's saying this, they're saying that about Ray J. I'm not going to say anything negative because, like I said, everybody's in God's hands. There's a lot that you all don't know that he did to Whitney, a lot. And so maybe, I don't know. People are emailing me saying that Ray J is talking about committing suicide because of what I have coming out, talking about how he has something to do with the demise of Whitney and Bobbi Kristina. Greetings, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. Here we go. I told you we're going to do this. I have a lot to show you all, but I want to say this. Let's forget about Ray J right now. Let God deal with him. But I want to say this. Somebody sent me something. Now, I want to show you all. And I hope that Pat Houston is looking at this because I want her to see herself. Yes, it's very important to understand why Leolah does what she does. I do what I do so that we as a people can get better. That is my aim. That is my aim. Okay? But let me tell you this. Let me tell you how arrogant Pat Houston is. Somebody sent me one of her, I guess she set up some kind of enterprise or business. It's all about Whitney because everybody's trying to get money off of Whitney's name. Never forget that. Okay? And when you all read my book, you'll know and you'll understand that it's all about the money. But somebody sent me this it's like a little article that she drew up that says she is the president and CEO of WHIP, WHIP, NIP, Inc. And then below it, it says she's the president of WHIT, WHIT, NIP Enterprises. But you see that WHIP? This is Pat. This was not a mistake. This is her mind. This is her mind. And she's doing that as a, that's her sarcasm. As if to say, yeah, I whipped Nick. She hates Whitney. When I tell you all that Pat Houston hates Whitney, I'm not just saying that, you all. I'm not just saying that about her. She really does. She hates Whitney with a passion. Yes. All that she did to my niece and my sister, it's evident that she hated Whitney. But I want you all to see something. I want you to see her mind and what she's thinking and what she does. So she put WHIP NIP Inc. And then put under it, it says president of WHIT, like short for Whitney, NIP Enterprises. You can't make a mistake because that P and that T is far away from each other on the keyboard. Think about it, you all. At the top, it says WHIP NIP. And then at the bottom, it says WHIT NIP. Same company, so-called company that she has. Somebody just emailed me this. But I'm trying to point things out to you that you should look out for because she's being smart. That was a slap in the face to Whitney. Trust me, it was. It is. WHIP NIP. Who would want to have something like that? Why would you name something like that? That's Pat Houston. She has an arrogance that is out of this world, you all. She can. I'm getting ready to do this interview with someone. And the guy told me, he said, Leolah, I saw Pat. He said, I'm not going to mention his name, but he said he was at the hospital when my brother Bobbi brought Bobbi Kristina to the hospital in Chicago to see a brain specialist or a brain surgeon. And he said that he saw Pat in the hallway of the hospital. And he said, Leolah, when I tell you that I looked in her eyes, he said, first of all, she was smiling. And I was saying to myself, why is this woman smiling like this after this baby was rushed in here for her brain? He said, I immediately went into, protection mode. He said he actually felt God telling him that this woman was evil. He said, and he looked down and he saw Pat with a pair of boots on, of Whitney's. He said, I saw Whitney with those boots on. And let me tell you all something. I noticed that myself. Whitney had some nice clothes. Pat has never been a dresser. Never. I'm not taking anything. I'm not trying to say anything bad about my sister, but she's never had any nice clothes. You know, that and somebody would say, oh, that's nice. She was a plain Jane person. Now all of a sudden she's flashy, wearing all of Whitney's clothes. And God knows what they took of Whitney's. They probably took all her coats, her clothes, and everything. It's sad. It is so sad. But yeah, he said that. He said he saw Pat at the hospital smiling. And he said he wanted to cry. He felt so bad. He said he felt so bad for Chrissy. But he's not the first person that told me that. You all are going to learn in my book. My sister Tina caught Pat looking at Chrissy right by her bedside at the hospital in a way where she was saying, basically, yeah, you here now. And you ain't going nowhere. And Tina said she looked at her like, and Pat tried to straighten up her face. But I've heard this over and over and over again about Pat. She is very happy. You all heard the tape that Jonathan Houston made. And he believes Pat and his father has something to do with the demise of his cousin Chrissy and his auntie Whitney. Just like everybody else. This is their children saying this. Come on now. When that tape was revealed, when Pat was in the back talking about Whitney, how can you say stuff like that? How? Because she doesn't care, you all. She doesn't. And she don't care about me speaking like this. Pat really doesn't. You know, she's that evil. She's got that evil streak in her. There's no remorse. No. She's not going to have no remorse until God does what he's about to do for her. That's when she's going to have some remorse. He's going to force her down on her knees because she's walking around too proud. Yes. But I want y'all to look at that. Whip, nip. Like, what are you trying to do? You don't need to make any monies off of Whitney's name. No, you do not. You are responsible for the death of Whitney and Bobbi Kristina. Yes, you are. And probably little Bobby Jr. too. All of you all are in cahoots with each other. You, Alicia. And God knows what you all are doing right now. But I know y'all are up to something. Because I got the phone call that you done snatch Mimi back up again, my niece. So y'all are up to something. Because I know the only reason why you have Mimi around. And by the way, Mimi, if you're looking at this, you could have saved Bobbi Kristina. You. When she called you and begged you to come and get her. You didn't come and get her. But had you came and got her, you would have saved her. Yes, she would have been saved. I could have got her from there. You all, and now you're still hanging out with Pat. And you know. You said it. You said that you were sorry, Mimi. You were sorry for how you talked about me in the media and all that. You're not sorry, though. You cannot be easy like that. Don't be weak and when she calls, you come running. You should not be anywhere near her. But I can't tell you what to do. You do as you please. But it's sad. It's a shame. I know you all are up to something because God reveals things to me. He does. But it's sad what you all are doing. You're slapping Whitney while in her death. You're still slapping her in the face. Whip, nip. Oh, really? Is that what you did? Did you whip her? Y'all jumped her, huh? Y'all jumped her in that hotel. Is that right? Yeah, it can only be one or two things and only a handful of y'all. So y'all know what happened. Busted lip. And I just heard that Whitney's lip was busted up so bad that she had to have surgery on that lip because of that cut that was so deep that was on her lip. So what did you all hit her with? This is what I'd like to know. Anyways, yes, I heard about Ray J saying he wanted to commit suicide. A lot of people think that it's because of my videos, the tapes that I've been putting out talking about him. I don't know. But one thing's for sure. I'm not going to say nothing negative because I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to do that and wish that on nobody. But God is here for us all, you all. Everybody has to repent for their sins. They're going to catch up to us. Yes, they are. I would encourage everybody to flee to God right now because it's that time. We have to. And we have to stop this nonsense of the evil that we're doing and the trickery and, trying to make people believe that we're one way and we're really not. That's what Pat Houston is doing right now. She's telling the whole world, basically, she don't give a damn about Whitney. Never have. Never have. There's a lot that she has done to Whitney. And she's not remorseful. I would think she would be remorseful, but she's not. And I see what she's doing. Okay, so you created a company called Whip Nip Inc., huh? What you gonna say? Oops, I'm sorry. That's a mistake. I meant to say Wit Nip. Wit Nip. No, you didn't. You don't make that mistake. That P is way away from the T. You couldn't make that mistake. No, that doesn't happen. That does not happen. But that's okay because God is here. He's coming for us all. And everything we do, we're gonna have to pay for it. Yes. Because I'm here. I'm gonna tell it all. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna help Whitney and Bobbi, Kristina and little Bobby get some kind of justice because it makes no sense what you all did. Nowhere in the history of life does a mother and daughter get found in a bathtub. That ain't never happened to nobody. And everybody's dying of overdoses. Oh, really? That's how y'all wanted it to look. Whitney was clean, like I said. Y'all did so many things to my niece. It's so sad. And Pat, I know all about that show. I told Chrissy not to do it with you. She said, Auntie Lily, I just did it because she kept begging me for money. But I knew, Pat, that you was going to do something. I knew it. I said, she's going to do something to make Chrissy look bad because they're preparing to grab Whitney's estate. So she's preparing all her evidence for the judge. So she wants to, now you place Nick on that show, have him feeding my niece things so that you can say, look, Your Honor, look at how she looks. That's why you did that, Pat. You brought that girl on to make Chrissy jealous so that would start conflict with Chrissy and Nick. I peeped the whole game that you did. I watched. I didn't watch that show like that. No, I didn't. So let me not lie. There's a lot that I haven't seen. But I didn't care to watch it. But I saw that part. I saw how you planted that girl there so that Chrissy can be, and this is after her mother is gone. You would do this, Pat. Do you really, you hate my niece that much? I already knew you hated Whitney. But that is ugly. So you see, Pat, I know your mind. I know how you operate. I know what's in here. You can fool the people out here, but you can't fool Leolah. I know who you are. And when you do something, I know how you do it, where you're coming from and all. I know. You have a sick heart. And you need to be healed. And you are one of the ones that studies. Supposedly, you're supposed to be what, a Hebrew Israelite or something like that? Is that what you study? So you know something about God. You're not just one of these young ones out here that, you know. And you would do that to your sister, huh? Wow. I told Mama Sissy to watch her back. Gary, brother, if you're looking at this, you too. Michael, you too. Because Donna and Pat have a plan. Oh, yeah. Yes, they do. My brother Bobby needs to watch his wife too. These are the in-laws. The in-laws, you all. The Browns and the Houstons never had a problem or issue with each other. Never. It's the in-laws. Those on the outside. We never had a problem with each other. This is a sick world, man. People wanting to have money in their pocket. God got something for us all. With these ill hearts, he's got something for us. All that has to be removed up out of us. All that sickness, it's a disease in the heart. It's a disease. Yes, it is. I heard a lot of things. A lot of things. Oh, and that's another thing. I wanted to say this. Pat, Mickey told me about how Mama Sissy invited you and Gary to her house for dinner after the death of Whitney. And you all flew in from Atlanta. And Mama Sissy said, tell me what happened to my baby. And you two jumped up and said, we didn't come here for that. Oh, that's what you called us here for? We didn't come here for that. You knew Whitney didn't want to be here no more. And walked out the door and left Mama Sissy standing there like that. You know why? I told Mickey. I said, you know why they did that? Because they couldn't face Mama Sissy. They had to get up out of sight. They couldn't face her. They didn't want to face her because they had did what they did. But the plan from the beginning, I figured it out. You all were going to say, you all said, that was plan A, to get Chrissy first. And then you were going to say Whitney found her, so Whitney committed suicide right after that. But Chrissy came out of that bathtub. Oh, yeah. See how smart Leolah is? Yeah, you know I got it right. You know I got it right. But see, Whitney had caught on to you guys, and that's why you didn't want her out of that hotel. Oh, yeah. The book is coming, though. The book is coming. I'm telling it. I'm telling it because I know what happened. I know why Whitney was looking for you all. She was looking for you. She was looking for Ray J. Ray J said in the media he regretted the missed phone calls. Pat, you sat in front of Oprah and said you didn't answer her phone call all that day because you knew why she was calling you. You knew. You knew what Whitney wanted. But you couldn't answer her. I knew what she was going to ask you. I know exactly what she was calling you for. And you ducked her. But at the same time, Ray, this is to your brother Ray, Pat. And with all due respect, Ray, you know I respect you. Always have. But come on, man. We all know. We know that you know something, Ray. You were Whitney's security. And that's one thing Whitney never deviated from. She never. Anytime she went out of town and had a hotel, she had security at her door, Ray. And you always had a room next door to her. You was always right there at her door. So how could you tell me that her room looked like a tornado hit it? Where was you? Where was you at, Ray? Seriously, you never told me that. You never explained to me when we were sitting there talking. When I was trying to find out what happened, Pat called somebody to come and get you, to keep you away from me, because she didn't want you telling me anything. But y'all didn't think that nobody was going to ask? We know how everything goes and operates out on the road with Whitney. Her room looked like a tornado hit it. So I guess that's when Pat and Gary went in there and moved stuff in and out. Because I already know what they did. My nephew Gerard Brown told us Pat and Gary was taking stuff out the room, putting stuff in. Y'all stepped over Chrissy. He said y'all wouldn't even help him with Chrissy. She fell on the floor crying. And y'all just stepped over her. Oh my God. While Whitney's body laid there dead, you all are running in and out of the room, taking stuff, putting stuff in, staging stuff, see? Because Whitney was clean. The autopsy said that. So y'all made it look like there was a little drug thing going on. You know, why would there be drugs in a hotel room with a person and it not be in their system? So Pat and Gary, you all planted those drugs there. Yeah, you all did. And I don't even believe that was Whitney's room that she was in. No, I don't believe that was Whitney's room. I'm going to tell everybody what I believe in the book. But that was dirty. That was very dirty. Yes. See, I said some things you didn't think I knew about, huh? Yes. And Ray J, with all due respect to you, my brother, I don't know what they told you or who's telling you what. But you don't know me, brother. You don't know me. Don't believe what you hear. Because I have always been the type of person to speak my mind. If you know anything about me, go ask my brother Bobbi. Can't nobody stop me from speaking out on the truth. No. Your mother cannot scare me with all the threats. If I speak out and mention Ray J's name, she's going to sue me. You can't sue somebody for what is true. No, you can't. So I'm just saying, you know, everything is going to be revealed. I have to tell what you did because my niece was rushed to the hospital. Yes. And you forced that on her. That's what makes you so guilty. Because you wouldn't take no for an answer. Okay? You can't do that to people. We loved my niece. We loved Whitney. We love our family. Don't you love your family? If somebody was to do something to your child, how would you feel? You would feel the same way. So don't nobody come at me telling me I should shut my mouth and all that. No. No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that to my family members and then think we're going to keep our mouth shut. No, you do not. You are not God. I'm sorry. You are not God. And if you know anything about me, I don't sweat nobody. I don't care nothing about you being an entertainer or famous and all that crap. I don't care nothing about it. No, because the real stars are the people of God. That's the real stars in the world. Okay? At the end of the day. But yeah, you guys, I want you all to check that out. Check that out and look at that. And look what Pat did. Whip, nip, ink. And then she says, and on the same page, under it, wit, W-H-I-T. So I guess she's saying, that's a message to you all that she whipped nip. That's all that is. She didn't make a mistake. That's not a typo. That's not a typo, baby. No, sir. That P is way away from the T. You didn't do that by accident. I just wanted to point that out. But I got some more videos coming. I just wanted you all to see that. Okay? Look at that. That's a shame. Pat is an ugly person. She has an ugly spirit. Whitney is gone, and she's still doing things like this. There's some more stuff I got to tell y'all. Just watch her. Watch her moves, because she thinks she's slick. She's out there wearing Whitney's clothes, doing everything she can, knowing Whitney did not want her nowhere near her. No, or her child. Oh, yeah. You did something to my niece. We know you did, Pat. Bobbi's security pulled me to the side when Chrissy was in hospice and told me that after Bobbi had that big meeting, he said every time Bobbi leaves, Bobbi said 2 people at a time going in there to see his daughter so that there's a witness. He didn't want no one around his child by themselves. And every time Bobbi left, you would go in there by yourself and stay for a long time. What did you do to my niece? And then you sent that impersonating nurse in there. We found out who she was. She was from your same hometown. Y'all probably grew up together. I know you hired her, Pat. And I hope that woman is in jail. How can you do that to a child? And by the way, you all, yes, Bobbi Kristina was starved to death. Starved. No, I mean that. I mean that. Yes, I mean that. She was starved to death. As God is my witness, they purposely, intentionally starved my niece to death. That nurse told me, she said, Leolah, your niece hasn't had not even a drop of water since I've been here. And every time you walked in Chrissy's room, she had her eyes open. She would look at you. You come in the door, she'd look at you, and then she put her eyes back on the TV, watching TV. She was afraid to go to sleep. She was always looking at TV. And they would play music for her. But Bobbi Kristina wanted to live. She fought hard to stay here. No. Oh, and another thing. Bobbi Kristina did not have any water in her lungs. I want y'all to think about that. Okay? No, she did not. She didn't have no water in her lungs. Okay? So Bobbi Kristina wasn't that bad off as people think she was, being found in that bathtub. I want you all to picture my niece laying in her hospital bed, with her eyes open. She had come out that coma, like I said. Bobbi Kristina was up. Yes, looking around. She knew who you was when you walked in the room. Dr. Jolly told me Pat came near her and Bobbi Kristina went off. She was screaming like, get her away from me. Yes, ask Dr. Jolly about that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bobbi Kristina wasn't stupid. She knew Pat had something to do with that. She knew Pat was telling Nick what to do to her. Because Pat hired Nick to bring Nick in. After Bobbi and Whitney divorced, that's when Nick came in. And they put it out in the media that Nick grew up with Chrissy. This is Pat, because she's got people in the media to do that for her. But they lied. No, Nick never, when nobody knew him, he was never around. My brother Bobby ain't never met him. I ain't never met him. Nobody in our families. After Bobby and Whitney divorced, that's when they moved on trying to get Nick in around Chrissy and Whitney. Oh, yeah, this was planned and plotted. Planned and plotted. Plotted out. Yes, they did this to Whitney. Nobody knew Nick. No, where he come from? And then for him to treat my niece like that? Laying up in her bed, talking about he don't care about her, smoking his weed. Living off of my sister like that. You all are out of your mind doing all this because of money, my sister's money. Can't you create jobs for yourself without using Whitney's name? You don't get no respect out here when you're like that, Pat. Think of a company up for yourself. Do something for yourself. Unbelievable what you all did, man. It's ugly and it's sad, all because you wanted Whitney's money. Now y'all done killed her and now you're wearing her clothes. You done stole all her stuff. This is crazy. And ain't nobody saying nothing. None of the Houstons. Ain't nobody saying nothing. Why? Why? I know why. But it's okay, though. I just pray that God rests my sister and my niece's soul. Hey, guys, you all have a blessed day, and I will be back, God willing. If it is the will of God, I will be back. Have a blessed day, you guys. Have a peaceful day.